Fight and talk back again, and today I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Jake Hadley ahead of his fight with Shaj Haque as part of Cage Warriors, the trilogy. Firstly, Jake, how have things been for you for the last few months? It's been a pretty crazy couple of months.
Yeah, well, it's been hard for everyone during the pandemic, but I've just been training like normal really throughout the pandemic. Obviously, all the gyms shut at first and stuff like that, but I was training for my fight with Saj the first time I was supposed to fight him in April. So I was training all the way up to when I could, and then they cancelled the fight. They shut the gyms down, and then I was training in my garden and doing what I can. So, but I've been all right. All my family's been all right. I don't know anyone who's got corona really. You know what I mean? So, everyone's been all right on my side.
Good. That's great to hear. You mentioned there as well, of course, this fight was originally scheduled and it would have been the first of your new Cage Warriors contract. Can you tell us a bit why you've decided to sign with Cage Warriors? I know there's a lot of interest in you from a lot of promotions. Why was it Cage Warriors specifically you decided to sign with?
Well, what it is I was obviously I was signed to EFC. They were struggling to get me matchups and whatever, and there was having money problems due to that. And I got offered a few offers off other promotions like Brave and a few others. But obviously, Cage Warriors is probably the best pathway to the UFC. Um, so I had to speak to my family and whatever, and I thought I'd go the Cage Warriors route. I was originally offered the title fight straight away, straight title fight straight away. But due to me not being able to get out my EFC contract in time, unfortunately they had to go with someone else because they needed to get a fight for the champion. So they went with Shanks. So Shanks has only got the title shot because of me not being able to get out my contract quick enough. So that's funny. Um, considering he thinks he's some, you know what I mean. So um, yeah, but like I decided to sign with Cage Warriors, and then they offered me Shaj Haque. Obviously, Shaj Haque, not many people know of him nowadays because it's been a long time since he's fought at top level. But obviously, I know Shaj Haque, and I know he's one of the top geezers about. I I I I believe he's the second best geezer in Europe over there. Obviously, I'm first. He's second. You know what I mean? Um, I think he's a better fighter than the champion and the challenger, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I know you're certainly not one to shy away from big fights, of course, taking on Zulu for that AFC title just 3-4 fights into your career. Was it important for you to fight Shaj so then if you do get your hand raised in September, it's really quite a big name in a big opponent to have won against in your first fight for Cage Warriors?
Yeah, well, to be honest, when I beat Saj and I stopped Saj, I'll probably be going to the UFC. To be honest, in my opinion, I don't even believe I need to win the belt to go to the UFC. But it's just a bonus. Obviously, I can't fight anyone who's not at a high level because I'm a world champion. You know what I mean? I'm a EFC world champion by beating Zulu boy. I beat Blaine O'Driscoll, who's a world champion as well. So obviously I have to fight high level competition, and plus that's the only people I want to fight high level competition. I don't want to fight no, you know, average geezers. I want the best geezers about, and that's obviously you can tell that by my record, and you can tell that by me fighting Saj. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, I only want the top geezers.
What sort of fight do you see Shaj bringing?
I just see him, he's normal. He's normal. He does the same thing in every fight, doesn't he? But I don't really want to talk about stuff like that. Obviously, I got my game plans and stuff like that for what he's going to try to do, and what he thinks I'm going to try to do to him. You know what I mean? But we'll wait and see on the night. We'll wait and see on the night. And put it this way, I'm going to be the first man to finish him. So I got an answer for him in every department he wanted to bring in the game. I'm a true mixed martial artist. I'd say Saj is quite a well-rounded fighter as well himself. He has holes in his game. He's quite a smart fighter. He's a lot smarter than like Shanks. He's a dummy, and these other geezers. He's a smart fighter, but I'm a smart fighter, and surely he knows that. And if you don't know that, he's going to be severely, 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 mistaken, and he's going to be in bad, bad trouble. Even trouble, and more trouble he's going to be in anyway. If you don't believe I'm a smart fighter, he's never got in the cage with anyone on the fight IQ I've got. Obviously, he's beat some good geezers back in the day. We're talking 2014 back in the day, you know what I mean? I hadn't even made my amateur debut back in them days. Well, I'm the new school, new breed of fighter, so he's going to be in some serious bad troubles. I got an answer for him everywhere. What type of fight do I expect he brings? I expect he's going to bring his normal type of fight, but I got an answer for that. And I got an answer for that if you don't bring that type of fight and he brings another type of fight. But, I've been studying him. I ain't no fucking idiot. And I've been studying him. I've been watching his tapes. And surely I should imagine he's been doing the same about me. So, yeah, I look forward to it.
We've got these 3 flyweight fights on the same night. In terms of that as a division in Cage Warriors, it's great to sort of see this flyweight division really taking off, isn't it?
Yeah. It's they got a couple of other flyweights on the card. Obviously they got the title fight, Shanks and Fadine. Is that his name, Fadine?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Obviously, you know, I don't know. I don't know if Shanks should be fighting for the belt. In my opinion, no. He's only good. He's only real good win. He's Petro Menga, and he's done a 4-fight losing streak. I mean, his best win before that's Conor Ignat, who's a journeyman. And then even the champion, he was on a 2-fight losing streak before he luckily caught Sam Creasy halfway through the fight. I think me and Saj is really the title fighting. If anything, Saj is fighting me for the EFC world title, really, and the Cage Warriors world title. You know what I mean? He's got his opportunity against me, even though he's talking this big talk like I've got my opportunity against him. No, mate, nah. You know what I mean? He's got his lucky shot against me, yeah. So I don't really think much of that other fight, the champion and the challenger, and then the other fight, Ignat and Amasin. It's like, both of them have got 50-50 records. Their biggest win is Darren O'Gorman, who's a journeyman. It's nothing like my fight, is it really? We could call a spade a spade. I mean, the Cage Warriors division is looking okay, but me and Saj are definitely at the top. And then these other geezers are mid-tier guys, I mean? We're top tier. They're like mid-tier, you know what I mean? They couldn't even carry my jockstrap, you know what I mean? I'm just calling a spade. I don't want to put no one down, you know what I mean? But that's just how it is, in my opinion.
Will you be keeping your eye on that title fight and looking to sort of take on the winner of that if you do get your hand raised? Or is it a case of you're wanting to put on such a display against Saj that the UFC then can't ignore you, and that'll be...
To be honest, I do feel like when I beat Saj and when I finish Saj and the way I'm going to beat him, Saj is a top guy. Everyone knows he's a top guy. The only people who don't know he's a top guy is because Sajay really fought since in 1982. You know what I mean? That's the only reason people have, they've got short-term memories, ain't they? But, I should imagine that I'll go straight to the UFC after this, But if I don't, I got no problem taking the belt. You know what I mean? Add another world title to my resume. That would make me the greatest flyweight to ever come out of Europe. Facts. And plus I think that whoever wins the title fight will be an easier fight than Saj anyway. I mean, you got, like Shanks is dumb, like brain dead. And Smear's, he ain't got really that much technique. He's just athletic. I think they're easier fight. I mean, Sad, he's a smart guy, whatever, good fighter. So, if anything, it'll just be another a warm up fight for me before going to the UFC. If I have to fight them before going to the UFC, but I don't think I will have to fight one of them for the belt. So, but I don't mind adding the Cage Warriors to my collection of world titles and adding another name, adding a few more rounds under my belt. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned Shanks a few times now. Is there some history there between you two, or are you just not really a fan?
No, like obviously, he's a bit look, he's a bit dumb, he's a bit of a dumb guy, he says some stuff on the internet. I'm just like, can't believe this guy. He got TKO'd by a 14-year-old Elliot Hoy. The funny thing is I asked Cage Warriors for Elliot Hoy before, and they laughed at me. They laughed at me. They says, "You can't fight Elliot Hoy. You're a world champion. Fucking Shanks is getting TKO'd by him and shit." 14-year-old Elliot Hoy, Thai boxer, TKO'd him on the ground. I mean, it's a joke, and he's. So I just think Shanks will beat Fedine, to be honest. Um, that's why I've said that, about him, because more than likely I probably will end up fighting Shanks because I think he'll beat Fedine, but you know, he's an easy fight.
I know on your social media as well, the last few days we've seen you training with the likes of former Cage Warriors World Champion Nathan Grayson. You've been with Dominic Wooden as well. What's that been
Yeah.
like for you in terms of development as a fighter, to be training with them sort of lads?
Yeah, man. I train with a lot of top guys. I train, with Woodin. Woodin comes down and does some sparring with me. Obviously, he's a top lad, Bellator, bantamweight, featherweight. I've had Grayson come down, do some sparring with me, former Cage Warriors world champ. I've also had the Creasy brothers, Sam Creasy, who fought Shaj Haque. Yeah, he comes down and spars. Few other geezers. They'll come from all around the country to come and spar me because obviously they know I'm the best work. If you want the best work, you come and spar the best geezer. So, I'm the best geezer when it comes to flyweight in Europe. And they come down and we have some good sparring, you know what I mean? And it's good development, good sparring, good we get together, do team training together. It's just high level work. It's been good work, man.
There's one thing as well I wanted to talk to you about, and it's great to say that you're repping it, the Violent Money clothing there. Of course, Nathan set up the Violent Money Fighter Fund. We had him on the channel to discuss it. How important do you think that is, and like, what does it mean? Is a concept for fighters like yourself that fans can support you from fight to fight?
Yeah, well, that's what we need, don't we? Because the problem is obviously yourself. Before you get to like the top leagues like the UFC or like maybe even one or Bellator, I suppose. You ain't getting it paid as like a lot. What I mean? Enough to make a big living wage. You know what I mean? So it's good that we can have some sort of support. You know what I mean? So people can get behind the fighters and support the fighters because that's what we need. Because it's an hard time, we've got to pay for all our gym kits, our gym memberships, uh, you know, whatever it is, car travel, bus travel, whatever you do, train travel. You got to pay medicals. You got to pay for all this stuff. We don't get funded any of this stuff. You see, you know what I mean? MMA, it's a funny sport, really. I mean, we don't get no coverage really. We don't get no media coverage, as in like I'm a world champion. You don't see me on ITV News, do you? You know what I mean? Like we're in the newspaper or something. It's a funny sport, MMA. So we need to get behind. The fans need to get behind us and push us as a sport, so we can, get more in the mainstream and we can start. Because what ends fighters' careers a lot of time is they can't afford to, at the in the end of it, they're like, oh fuck it, I can't afford to do this no more, and they end up quitting. You know what I mean? That's what kills a lot of people off. So people need to get behind the fighters and stuff like that. So I think it's good thinking.
Finally, Jake, as well, this trilogy show will be behind closed doors. You fought the likes of O'Driscoll in Dublin in his back garden. You fought Zulu in South Africa in his back garden. What sort of difference do you think it'll be fighting behind closed doors to fighting in like the sold out arenas you used to?
I don't think there'll be no difference. If anything, I think everyone will perform better because it's just like sparring. But to be honest, when I fight, it's just like sparring anyway because I spar hard anyway. Um, so really, it'll be just like sparring. But the only thing is, I'll be elbowing him in his face and kneeing him in his face. And when he goes down on the floor from a punch to the head, I'll be following up on him. You know what I mean? So that's the only difference is I wouldn't follow up on my partners, would I? You know what I mean? Well, apart from that, there's no real difference really between that and the gym. You know, especially now there's no crowd. So I think people perform better, to be honest, because some people obviously they get nervous because of the crowd. I don't. You know, I mean, I feel okay. I feel like this is what I was born to do. And if I was born 100 years ago, I would have been a gladiator and killing people in the gladiator audience. It's just I'm born in 20. I'm born in this time. So I'm a cage fighter instead, you know what I mean?
Finally, Jake, as well from you, can I get a prediction for the outcome of the fight and also a prediction where this time next year, where you see yourself?
My prediction for the fight, I says I'm going to finish him, but I ain't going out there looking for a finish. If it goes 3 rounds, it goes 3 rounds. Um, all my fights are entertaining, but if it's got to be boring, it's got to be boring. But what I say is I'll win. 100% my prediction is I'll win. Yeah, I do think I'm gonna finish him. But if I don't finish him, I don't care because I'm still gonna win. You know what I mean? So my prediction's a win. Where do I see myself in a year? The only place I see myself in a year really is in the UFC. Obviously, I probably would already be in the UFC if it weren't from this pandemic. So, you know, um, but if the world's normal, I'll be in the UFC within this time next year. You know what I mean? So, um, that's what I see myself in a year's time.
Spot on. Jake, thank you very much for your time and good luck on September.
Thank you, man. All right then.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.